Hello everybody, welcome to a new and special video. This week, if you haven't guessed it, we are doing some cooking. Some of you might know, but I like to cook. I'm no chef, but I can boil myself some water. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you what we are making just quite yet. I'll let you ponder that. I'll even give you a hint. It's quick, it's fresh, and it is simple. Anyway, my name is Marcus. Let's get started. Alright, if you couldn't get it, that's not a problem. Today we are making a variation of the traditional Hawaiian poke dish. Now, I'm a firm believer that you don't really need recipes to cook, so I don't really even have recipes to give you, but I will list all of the ingredients as they come up, and I'll just be talking about what I did in order to make it. So for the sauce, which is the first thing that we're going to be talking about, you want to find a very good balance between sweet, salty, and tangy. So I've got a few ingredients with me to make this sauce, and they include soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, regular vinegar, some pepper, and some limes. Now, you don't want to add any salt to this because the soy sauce itself is already salty, so you don't want to overpower it and make it too salty because that'll just ruin the dish. Basically going to eyeball most of this, put it in, taste to test, and then stir it up, and then that's pretty much the sauce. It is so easy and so simple. Couldn't really mess it up. Next up, the best part about the poke dish is that it's the fish, it's the sauce, and then it's the garnish. Now the garnish, we're using some parsley and also some lime and cilantro or coriander, whatever you want to call it. Now I've got a tip for cutting the lime itself. You're going to want to roll it a bit just so you can squeeze out the juices a little bit easier and you can get as much out of the lime as you possibly can. Now you're going to save some part of the lime for dressing and also some part of it for the sauce itself. Depending on how much lime you use or how sour your lime is, it's just going to matter on how many you use. I think I ended up using about 3 limes for this entire recipe, and that ended up being not too bad. Now we're just going to chop up all of our herbs, and we are just going to separate them so that you've got a little bit to garnish at the top at the end, and also the rest can sit inside the sauce that you've already made so that it soaks up all of those juices and it just makes it a lot more fragrant. We're also going to be finely chopping some green onions because they add just a little bit more to your flavor inside the dish in itself. Now, this is an important step because a lot of people don't really have good knife skills. I don't really have the best because I've been out of chopping and cutting for a while, but basically just try to be careful, take it slow. There's really no reason to rush. It is a quick dish, but you just still don't need to rush it. Now, remember to save some for the sauce and also save some for the side as well. After you've gotten it all chopped up and ready to go, you can go ahead and add it into the sauce and then put the rest aside. And remember to always taste your sauce before getting it done. And after tasting, I noticed that I needed a little bit more lime, so I took the ones that I left to the side and put it in my dish. And what you're doing when you're adding the lime is that you're infusing a little bit more tanginess that's different from the vinegar. And that just gives it a lot more complexity to the flavor of the dish. And just like that, you are halfway done with the dish already. This next part has to be my favorite because we are talking about the fish. And a lot of people like to shy away from the fish, but I definitely disagree with that. I think you should definitely try it and see what you think. If you don't like it after that, then it's just your loss. But this is the best part because this is super simple. Yes, we're eating raw fish, but the important part about this is that we're having it fresh so that it is not bad for you in any way. What we're using are 2 different types of fish. It is traditionally made with what is called aku, which is yellowfin tuna. Half of it is yellowfin tuna, and then the other half we're using salmon, and that's just to get a variety because they're both edible raw, and why not get some variety in life? Now, this part, all that's important is that you have equal parts of each and that you cut them about the same size. What you're really aiming for are cubes that are bite size. Other than that, you can't really mess it up unless you're just cutting everything way off. But the important part is that you get everything as close to equal as possible, and then you're going to mix it all up at the end, and it's going to taste amazing. Now, I'd say that I definitely messed up on cutting some of the fish in this clip It was really hard to cut at first because the camera was in the way, but I also meant to make them into strips, but I tried to salvage it as much as possible. It worked out in the end, but it was still a minor mistake that is worth noting. Some places that you also might mess up, where I did, is that you really want to taste the sauce. At first, when I was tasting the sauce, it tasted fine, but when you put all of the ingredients in it, just keep in mind that it's going to dilute down the sauce just a bit. Not necessarily diluted in the sense of water, but in the flavor, it's just going to get absorbed by the fish and all of the herbs, and it's just going to taste a little bit less than what you think it's going to be. So I think something that I could have done better here is to put a little bit more soy sauce in so that it's a little bit more salty. This last part is super simple. All that we have to do is just mix it all up in the bowl, and finally, you also got to add the garnish that you left to the side at the end, and also cut up some slices of lime and put it in, make it look pretty, and that's basically it. Anyway, I hope you all had a wonderful experience today, and I hope you all give this a try. When life gives you limes, you make poke, and let me know down in the comment section below what you all think about this. Subscribe for more, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll see you all next time.